Hello and welcome back to another stream. Big thank you for joining today. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream. We've got a few legends in the chat already. We've got Magus, we've got Pappy, and we have got Block. Oh, yes, mate. And we do obviously have special guest, Justin. How we doing, mate?
Good afternoon. How are you, Dave? You changed your background. You've gone anonymous.
I've gone. Well, I took inspiration from you. You had your virtual background, and I thought, oh, well, why have I not done that? So I've put a virtual background on as well, which is it's a lot of my white walls I had. So we're rocking it. We are rocking it.
Very nice.
Yes, we do have Legal Lady. Hello to you in the chat. We got Reggie Man, and we do have Steve. So yeah, big thank you for joining today. Do make sure drop a like on the stream, sub if you're new, but I imagine most of you already are watchers of the channel. And yeah, obviously we got Justin back on. We didn't do last Monday because I was off, but yeah, Justin is the now regular guest for Monday, bringing you all some very deep, insightful knowledge. So do make sure you've got your.
You're setting me up for a failure.
Pan. Yeah, pen and pad ready, or whatever it is. Just to cover this in the last couple of moments, I think it was the last couple of moments anyway. When was it posted? Yeah, 6 minutes ago. Unfortunately for us, if we are looking at a potential push to the upside, which I don't know, maybe you could look at it both ways, but Sailor's already blew his load. I don't know how, because I didn't see anywhere on the chart where he possibly could have bought, but he has acquired another 2 billion worth of Bitcoin. So at an average price of 97,500. So that's not very good, because I was kind of looking at maybe he hadn't bought yet and was going to push us maybe back a bit to the upside, but he's already gone and done it anyway. So where we go from here is quite interesting, really. I mean, looking at that, I thought this was, where would he have bought? So he must have been buying on the way down, mustn't he? I don't know. He doesn't care, no. I just kind of like seeing where he bought. Like, I kind of like seeing, because normally you can see on the chart where he bought. You can kind of see, like the very, very steady and precision staircase up.
Have you ever looked into any correlation between, and I'm not saying there is a correlation, but how he moves with his buying versus the ETFs, how they buy?
No. I don't know. I don't actually know where he does his buying. I imagine through Coinbase. I imagine, or maybe Kraken. I don't know. I don't actually know where he does his buying. Maybe SMFC if he's in the chat. I know he looked into it at one point. I think he wrote an article on it, but I don't actually know what sort of middleman he uses for the buying. I know they custody their own Bitcoin. But where they do the buying, I imagine Coinbase. But
that's where most of them do it, like the bigger boys.
Yeah, it'd be Coinbase or
Finance.
Kraken, I imagine, for the US. There's not really much other option, is there? But yeah, I mean, maybe he was knife catching here. I really don't know. But yeah, I don't know where he could have bought. But there we go. We have that. So that's the news out. So that came out about 10 minutes ago from now, if we refreshed. So,
do you think he's going to get burned, Dave? How can he get burned if the market dips badly?
Yeah.
Obviously, that he can be compromised with his liquidation point. But can't he just issue more stock as collateral in the company?
Yeah, he can. I think the main concern is not for the Bitcoin itself. I think the main concern is, what happens if people just don't want to? What happens if people just don't want to give him any more money? Because, say for instance, we do. I think he's safe for now, but in the scenario that we do get a stock market reset and it does retrace significantly, and MicroStrategy is obviously going to go along with that. That's going to lose a significant portion of its value. Bitcoin will go down with it. What happens if it's just at a point in the market where people don't want to give him any more money and he needs to raise money? I think that's like the contagion risk, is if people just don't want to give him any more money.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know. I do kind of. I'm not. It's weird. I don't think he's going to blow up, Like, I don't think he's just gonna like blow up and just completely, because if he blows up, Bitcoin's probably going back to like 10K or something in it.
Yes.
So, but I don't think he blows up. But I think the way he's moving, especially edging up his entry, I think he's kind of raising the risk of really getting the market a bit on pins moving into the next bear market. It'd be interesting. I mean, nothing really happened last cycle, but the incomparable, because he hadn't borrowed nearly anywhere near as much money as he has now.
Well, he's definitely done his conkers, isn't he? He's very enthusiastic.
I would like, I think it would be fascinating. Yeah. I think it would be fascinating to know his train of thought, like someone to like just deeply ask him, do you just not believe in another bear market, or do you just believe you're just safe no matter what happens? Do you believe that you just cannot be touched? Like, can you not be, in some sort of form of worry no matter what happens to the market? I think it would be an interesting conversation instead of people just kind of licking his ass every time they interview him. It's to sort of kind of put him on the spot, and go, well, what happens if this happens? Will you be okay? What happens if this happens? Are you sort of indestructible now? Can you always sort of find, someone just put, if someone puts them, what happens if Bitcoin goes back to 20K? Are you at risk of having to sell Bitcoin? So yeah, I don't know. I think it would be interesting, but I don't know. I don't think he's really at danger of having all his Bitcoin liquidated. But, say in a scenario Bitcoin goes back to 30K and people want the money back, and he can't really leverage any more money off his stock, what did he do in that scenario? I think that's quite an interesting, because MicroStrategy doesn't really make any money.
No.
Does it?
It's basically an ETF. That's all it is. It's just
Yeah. It pretty much is at this point just an ETF. So I don't know. What are your kind of thoughts on it? Do you think he's playing a dangerous game, or do you just think he's just playing chess while most people are playing checkers?
On the face of it, it looks like a massive, great gamble, right? But the people that are collateralizing him, there must be a master plan and a backstop to stop them getting liquid, or basically just getting a margin call on it. Because does he trade it on leverage, or does he actually buy it just pure spot?
I imagine they just buy it pure spot.
Yeah.
Whether he goes and places a long on himself when he knows that MicroStrategy are going to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I imagine that they just have to buy it on spot, because then they're technically manipulating the market for their own advantage, aren't they?
Yeah, which is all the market makers do anyway, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
But he must be at least in the room, or have the ears of some market makers, I'm guessing, or at least they are literally setting him up to absolutely rug the shite out of it. But I don't know, there's definitely more to the plan than meets the eye, is what I'd say.
Yeah. I do wonder as well if, because of the size of him, I wonder if he's got sort of a rough idea, like if and when the US are going to start doing things. Because if we look, say for instance, we go and look at the Trump tracker, the Sailor tracker, he only really started piling this much money in once Trump had got in office.
Yeah.
So if we go and have a look, we'll get the Sailor tracker up, because if we look at it, it's really interesting. Because he's never really done this before in the history of MicroStrategy buying. Like if we look, so we'll zoom out a bit. You can see here, obviously this is when, round about the first times they started buying. He obviously, added a fair few buys up at the top here and here. But if we look on, particularly along the last couple of years, they were quite spaced out. We made 2 buys at the bottom. They made 2 buys at the bottom, and then obviously a few up. But, if we compare the last compression that we got, he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He made, what was that then? No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He made 8 buys. Then he made 1. Yeah, then he made 1 when Trump got in. But if we look, this was across the span of 8 months. This is across the span of about 2.5 months. He's already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's only made 13 buys in the past 2.5 months compared to 8 buys across 8 months last year during this. So I do wonder if he's already, because of the size of him, if maybe someone from the Trump team or maybe Trump himself or whatever has had a conversation with him and he knows something that the market doesn't in terms of if and when things are going to start, being put out about the US and Bitcoin.
But the thing is, let's say...
I do just find it strange that he... Yeah.
But let's just say it kind of 2x's from here, Bitcoin-ish, for this cycle. Hopefully anyway. Will he look to then take profits at some point and dump it? Or is he like, because he goes on like he's a maxi and never selling, just buying. I wonder how much of that is true and how much of it he'll go at some point. If it goes to 200 grand, does he go, right, we're selling part of our holdings here and actually TP and pay some profits back to the shareholders and stuff like that? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he always goes on like that he's never selling and this thing's going to the moon and he's basically just going to keep accumulating.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is this the latest? Have they already got that buy on there, the Sailor Tracker? Yeah, they've already got it. So say it goes 2x from here. Let's just, we'll just round it up to, what will that be? It would just be shy of 100 billion, won't it? We'll just say 100 billion, just for the sake of having a nice round number. In that scenario, he's got a very good potential there, because if he takes, say, 10% off the table, he sells 10 billion, close to the top, and then kind of walks the price down a bit. He's then got 10 billion in cash that he can use to either pay back investors or just keep to the side to buy the dip. But he knows for a fact when the financial results come out that they've sold 10%, the price would shit itself.
Yeah.
So then he can then sort of play it against the fact that they've sold. And then if he wants to fire it straight back in, say Bitcoin, I would imagine if it comes out they've sold 10% of the holdings, it would get a decent dip on it. He could then fire it back in, or he could keep it to the side. But I mean, at some point, someone must be advising him, going, it would be smart to at least have a decent amount of cash on the sideline.
But the thing is, he also knows that not just crypto, but the financial market is cyclical. So you're not gonna. He's gonna absolutely, from here, or even from, like, let's say 200 grand to the top, or in and around that kind of number, you're probably gonna go down to at least 40 at some point, if not lower.
Oh yeah.
And he knows that. He's not stupid. It's not going to go up forever because things don't do that. So he's got to take profit because it's a publicly traded company and he's got to be responsible to his shareholders.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is just really interesting. Like, can he let go of the fact that he never wants to sell and actually, like, be responsible? It would be fascinating. I actually don't think he does. You think he will?
If it's him personally you're talking about, no. But he has a board and he has shareholders that he's got to look after. And if they suddenly go, in a year from now, sorry, your company's gone from whatever the value is and it's actually now a fifth of that again, are shareholders going to be happy with that? If you've done nothing to manage it whatsoever? I just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see how they can't, basically. Can't sell some. But I can't believe he'd also be that blinded and that stupid to just hold it. Who bloody knows? It's crypto, right? The crypto
it will be. Yeah, it will be
nuts.
fascinating.
Utterly nuts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the thing is now they've got that much Bitcoin, they could easily sell 20%, and even if it carried on going up, they've got more than enough Bitcoin to not have any sort of regrets about it, and providing the company with stability. It's just it's a very it's a case in it of like, I don't know, because I don't actually know. I know obviously like he founded the company and that, but he's not actually CEO anymore, is he? He's executive chairman. So I don't know how many like sort of what power he's got in the board, if the board kind of started going against him a bit, how easy it will be for him to be sort of overruled. Or how much control he's got. Because imagine if it does 2x's and the board goes, right, we're selling it all.
Yep.
Like we're selling every single bit of it.
Yep.
We're just going to go completely into cash. Like, I don't know how much control he's actually got to then stop that. Like, if he can, he probably can't, because obviously he's just one man in the board, and I don't know how much weight it takes to affect the fact that he founded the company or not. But
the thing is, as well, that there might also be loan clauses in there whereby he has to take profits at some point. There will be the people that are backing him will want profit taken at some point in time. They're not looking. Most investment vehicles, they're not looking at a 10, 20 year payback. They're looking at, most of the time, 5-year kind of windows of where they're looking to take their profits on investments.
Yeah.
So 5 years from here, yes, you could go, okay, you've got this cycle, the bear market, and then you've got the up. So you might then be at 3, 4, 500 grand. And that is a decent return from here, because then you've 5x over 5 years effectively.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's clearly a plan, and it's clearly not idiots involved. Even if you go, right, Sailor's just absolutely playing a very dangerous game, people are lending in their money, and there's going to be people that are lending the money that will also have bosses and shareholders and that to service, and they will be going, why have you not taken profit? So I see it as an ETF. That's all it is as a company.
Yeah. And I also think with who's in the industry now, so say, for people like Larry Fink and, the other heads of these institutions, is Sailor more of a threat or a pro, like a positive to them? Would it be better for them to have him in the industry and be this massive, large whale? Because let's not forget, he's a risk to them.
Yep.
He's got that Bitcoin now. He's a risk. If for whatever instance, they got compromised or whatever, he's a risk to their holdings, being such a big whale. So would it be beneficial for them to try and take him out in the next bear market and then build it back up from the base down, with them then being able to be fully in control of Bitcoin and not have someone like Sailor in it? Or did he see him as an ally? I think I would see him as, if it was me, I would see more of a risk, because this guy could literally send Bitcoin minus 50% in the day if he wanted to.
Yep.
Or if anything
sell the whole thing.
If anyone got hold of, for whatever reason, they got completely compromised, and somehow someone got hold of all of, or even most of, even if someone got hold of 50% of the devices, the hardware wallets that they store the Bitcoin, they could literally completely collapse the price of Bitcoin in one day. So I think he sees it. I would see him as more of a risk. So again, it's another thing in it of maybe not even just the market. The people that are actually in the market now, would they try and take it? Which would then give a generational buy.
Yeah.
Like, that would be it then, wouldn't it? That would be it.
they will. At the end of the day, all of these big institutions that have the money have got their own jobs to do, and yes, they'll work collectively at times. At some point, it's just more liquidity, right? And if that means liquidating MicroStrategy, then so be it. Do we know how much of MicroStrategy, or do we know if their shareholders include BlackRock and Fidelity and people like that?
I've no idea.
That'd be worth looking into.
I have no idea. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's all as well. Like, it'd be quite interesting. I assume it's all public knowledge because it's a public company. Who is actually lending him the money? Who's giving him the money for these convertible notes?
Yeah. Is it you, Dave?
I think. I mean, if anyone knows where we can find that info, I think it'd be quite. Oh, bloody hell! I wouldn't be giving it to him.
So at this point in time, who's got more?
I'd give it to you, mate, and you can just double it. Easy.
Who's got more Bitcoin, Dave or MicroStrategies? That's what everyone wants to know.
No, that's telling, isn't it? Yeah. But apparently, Coffee said that apparently he's got 45% voting power. He thinks so. He's not fully 50%. He's got 45%, but then maybe he only needs one or two more people in the board to back him.
But the thing is that's obviously at MicroStrategy. That doesn't obviously take into account what the banks are allowing him to do as well, because obviously everyone that's raising the funding rounds will have their own stipulations within the contract for the lending.
Yeah.
So yes, it matters to a degree, but he's collateralizing it somehow.
Yeah, it's interesting. Someone's just put in. I never thought about doing this. Ask Grok. He's going to be okay unless an extended bear market for years at the 20k range. Let's ask Grok. What should we say?
How can we
price? Let's see. Yeah.
How do we rug MicroStrategy?
Let's see. Let's see if it gives it back. I suppose this is. This looks too long.
Yeah. You should have changed it in 3 words or something like that.
Yeah. I can't be bothered reading that. If anyone does want to go and type that in and let us know, that would be quite interesting.
Yeah. So I would say the questions that you would want to look into are BlackRock, Fidelity, etc. Who's on the micro strat? So main investors.
Let's
then,
summarize. Oh, here we go. Analysts. Now, I don't know who these analysts are, but it says estimate a theoretical liquidation price of around 15,000 to 16,500. Yeah, and crucially, creditors can't seize Bitcoin, and repayment is in cash or equity.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's the contagion risk in it. Is if people want to do that. Yeah,
I was going to say, when I've looked into it before, I'm pretty sure that the way he gets around it is just basically issuing more stock, effectively, to deal with the margin.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting. But I mean, I imagine that's not for all of it. I mean, for the money he's borrowing all the way up at here.
Yeah.
Might have to sell some at 30k. Might have to sell some at 40k. I don't know. Or maybe it just depends on if and when people want the money back or not. But then, you can think of so many scenarios, can't you? In the instance we do get a complete market reset in the stock market and, there's panic and fear and everything, people are going to start coming knocking at the door. Exactly what happened to Madoff, innit? People come knocking at the door, say, we want our money back. Oh, I haven't got it.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
So the thing is, with the, as we've discussed before, there's clearly something coming down the pipe with regards to a market reset, in my opinion anyway. So we've had obviously the DeepSeek thing the other week. I also saw obviously the audit stuff that Musk and Trump are doing in the States as well. And there was an article I was reading at the weekend about what happens if they go to Fort Knox and there's no gold there. What's the implications?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was basically saying that the dollar would collapse overnight. If the gold's not there, or there's not as much gold there that's supposed to be there, it would collapse the dollar. So looking just at the narratives that are kind of starting to be built and dripped into the market, whether it's, I don't think it's war, but what are the potential black swans? So yes, we've got the hack. Yes, we've now got the gold situation potentially, because you've now had the gold question marks about the Bank of England, but the gold question marks about Fort Knox. Could that be a narrative? They're just all being floated out there that all could be black swan events, and it will just be when the timing's right. The narrative, in my opinion, will just be picked out of a little select few that it'll go, right, this is the reason why everything gets reset. I'm more convinced than ever that we might see the dollar gets collapsed in the next 12 months.
You are more convinced than ever?
Yeah, more convinced than ever. Absolutely.
Yeah. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because I think Musk wanted to live stream it, but it would be interesting if Trump doesn't let him do that, to save the potential of, okay, like the gold's not here, but we need to keep this quiet. It would be very interesting, wouldn't it? I think. Yeah, what would you? So say the gold's not there, or there's half as much gold, or whatever. What do you think is then the implication?
Well, it just means
the stock market the next trading day.
First and foremost, where is it? I would say, where is it? That's going to be enough. And again, it could be one of those narrative things that if we are on the verge of major adoption of blockchain and transparency and open source and all of this kind of stuff, is that another example where the government can go, it's another example where the checks and balances are held with federal employees and there's no accountability, and therefore you as the public have basically just been shafted. It's all going to be open source and you'll know exactly what's there at any point in time going forward. I can just see, I might be off, but I don't think it will be that far off. You can just see the different bits that are just coming along. It's going to be very funny. But I reckon 12 months.
I mean, it reminds me of this. I saved this tweet. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think so. So I seen this tweet, and I think it's a bit far-fetched and a bit, sort of living in the ideal dreamland a bit. But someone put this out, and I thought it's like a discussion point. So, Elon pushes Trump to audit Fort Knox, which now he's done. Audit reveals there was less than 500 tons of gold. Now I think there's meant to be 4,580 in there. Yeah. So I mean, that would be, you take whatever number that there is there, as long as it's significantly less. Trump realizes China and Russia have way more gold than the US, but very little Bitcoin. Trump issues executive order for strategic Bitcoin reserves, citing national security. Money printer goes burr, and US buys as much Bitcoin as the market will sell. The price of gold collapses in Bitcoin terms. China and Russia realize Trump got the lump on them and start trying to acquire Bitcoin. Price of gold collapses further. Peter Schiff is admitted to mental hospital.
But the thing is, again, I mentioned the other week with certain triggers, my personal triggers for what's going to be the impetus for the crypto market to move and the rotation to occur. And gold, as you know, is one of my key triggers that I'm looking at. So what can potentially crash the price of gold? Something like this, obviously, yes, I hadn't thought of this as a scenario. The other one is obviously if the wars get mitigated in the Middle East and Russia and Ukraine, then people might have more faith in riskier assets. So they'll take profit on the likes of gold, and that creates your rotation.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be narrative based. For the most part, the charts don't lie. Even like the FUD last week with the Bybit ETH stuff, charts just went where the charts are supposed to go. It's just a narrative that kind of suits the time. I'm not a massive conspiracy buff, but I would not be surprised at all that if that the hack last week wasn't necessarily as straightforward as a hack. It might have just been a coordinated way to flush leverage from the market again. Well,
it was very, very convenient that it was all the way back up here again, wasn't it? How convenient that it was back at local resistance. It was incredibly convenient, I thought. I mean, when you look at it as well, you know, obviously we had the hack, but we had a massive sell-off on the S&P anyway. So, you know, that would have, you know, that was very aggressive as well last week, this sell-off, because obviously, you know, the news that there's a new coronavirus. So Bitcoin was probably the sell-off anyway, because this had such I think it was down 1.5% at one point by the time it got down here.
Yeah.
So, you know, Bitcoin was likely to sell off anyway. So it's interesting. I don't actually think that this was that bad, considering that there was a hack, because the S&P was dragging it down anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually think that this was that bad, considering, you know, it stayed around where it is, you know, mid 90s. Obviously, ETH on the other hand was a little bit worse on it, wasn't it, percentage wise?
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. But yeah, I do find it extremely convenient that it was starting to press local resistance again. And oh, what a surprise! Another headline to drag it back down. It was very convenient, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm like I say, I'm not entirely convinced by it all personally. I was talking to Block Pro and Christian and whatnot about it, and it's I don't know. It's when you get to this phase of the cycle,
and it was very quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it was very quick the way Binance and BitGet were on hand to go, we'll give you the money.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's going to be fine. Not like, you know, you have to get lawyers to draw these contracts up to lend them like $1 billion in ETH. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of like, oh, we'll do it. It's fine. Yeah, we'll lend you it. Not like, you know, the fact, hang on, we're going to need like a bit of time to draft up a proper concrete document on this to, you know, to make sure that we get our money back.
Yeah. Now, obviously, they will have pre-contingencies properly in place in the event of something like this.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty big number to get hacked. And obviously, I think it was very conveniently timed. But I think it was a nice way to flush some leverage. Who knows? But it does make a bit of a mockery of the space. And again, it's just pushing the charts where charts need to go at the end of the day. And it just looks a bit stinky in my eyes.
Yeah, I think the sooner we get out of this range and we get that final expansion stuff, the happier I'm going to be. Because at this moment in time, there's no better place I would want now than just to be sat in 100% stables.
Yeah, but the thing is, I said to you offline earlier when you and I were talking as well, that I'm not really trading much or day trading crypto at the moment because it's just
it's near impossible, isn't it? Because you're just going to get shafted. Yeah.
There's no.
You're just going to get shafted.
But the thing is, I know a lot of it's like pump fun and stuff, but there's 11.7 million tickers, I think, in crypto now. Obviously, a lot of that is just rubbish, small pump fun stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to get curtailed at some point, but you can see if you've got that many tickers, yes, there's not much liquidity that sits in lots of them.
Yeah.
But it's still a drain on liquidity and people's attention. 100%. It's just, I wonder how much of that lends into not necessarily regulation, but oversight of some description. To kind of limit what's out there.
Yeah, and then you tie that into obviously Trump launch, Melania launch, Libra launch. Dave Portnoy's been having a good go at it. There's rumours that Kanye sold his account to crypto scammers. Have you seen that?
No.
Rumoured to have sold his account to crypto scammers.
No, not seen that.
I don't know how true it is or not, but there's rumours that he sold his account to crypto scammers and going to launch a coin on his account, which has got 33 million followers. So that should be interesting if that happens. But yeah, it is just it started with pump fund, didn't it? Early last year pump fund launched, wasn't it? Or when it started to come real hyped anyway. I think it was early last year. And then, you tie in, pump fund and then, all these high profile launches that have, really, I mean, even Trump's retraced a significant amount, but it's still, Trump's the only one that's still at a decent market cap.
I still think that I still think that Trump has some longevity, and I think it's going to be part of whatever is to come. The new world, whatever the new financial system is going to be, I do think it'll be part of it. But at the moment. But the thing is, it don't really matter. It's all a load of rubbish, and the market will only do what it needs to do when it's ready to do it, and it's not ready to do it yet, in my opinion. It's just not there.
That's it.
What's your view on
that? So until then, I think we need something to kickstart it, don't we? I don't know what it is, but much like the last range where we was approaching a point of obviously, just time based. We were going to break out of this anyway, but obviously, it was the Trump election that really kick-started the momentum. I think we need something to just kick-start it and just give it a kick up the arse a bit, and sort of just remove all the asks, particularly around this range here, but just something to just blast price a bit and just blast it through a couple of sell walls and give it a bit of momentum to the upside and get people excited again, much like we had here.
The thing is, you're not going to just blast out of the range from here. We're going to have to liquidate lower first. Yeah. So I was just reading some of the comments from Christian and Rania about. Apparently, I've got all the gold.
I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat really. Scottish Crypto thinks a 2026-27 reset is incoming. I've seen him. I followed him actually. What is he called now? He was on Piers Morgan. Very interesting fella. I think do you know a bit of background on him, Scottish? I think he made a lot of money trading, didn't he? Like
Who's this?
I can't remember his name. Big economics guy. Let me try and find him. I think he just was just an ordinary guy, that learned to trade, and he ended up just making. I think he's made.
Well, the thing is, so I have Bloomberg on in the background for most of the day, and there's a lot of chatter going on about some of the Mag 7, the gold situation, the yields on the government bonds and all that kind of stuff. And they keep mentioning the word black swan quite a bit, or the phrase black swan. So I just think the narratives are building there.
Yeah.
Really do. But it's, to me,
they're sort of just placing the bricks, aren't they, at the bottom?
Yeah. It's just the narratives are building, and it's just a matter of time before whenever it's ready, the crypto space will get the expansion at some point. I do personally believe that it will be tied to gold, and I've said that for a while. It's only a matter of time that we'll get the pullback on gold. We might carry on pushing up for a while, but I think that signals some of the rotation. So whether it's this Fort Knox thing, if it's the Fort Knox thing, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to absolutely just nuke. If it's war-based, then I can see the take profit and more of a gradual sell-off, like you have got previous cycles and previous election cycles. But it's just a time.
What do you think is the reaction to Bitcoin from that? Do you think it's the fact of just the uncertainty and just the size of the fact that there's no gold there? It just goes pump to everything, or do you think it just sort of snaps Bitcoin the other way, and then people go, well, there's no gold there, and Bitcoin gets a decent move from the fact that there's no gold in America?
So, I think the gold.
We've never really seen anything like that before, have we? So it would just
which is exactly what you want.
All you can really do is guess.
The black swan situation. So again, just looking at narrative base and where the world is heading. If we're going down the route of more open source, transparency, deregulation, blah blah blah, is blockchain, right? That's the answer to it. So I do believe that there is going to be some kind of thing there where you can't trust people. There's not as much gold there that should be, or someone's been moved it from wherever. And it will lead to something where there will be more, not oversight, but more transparency. My view there. Do I think they go there and go, oh my God, the fucking vault's empty, pardon my language. If it does that, then the dollar collapses and the stock market collapses, crypto collapses, everything just goes, hit the nuke button.
Yeah.
I don't think the market's there yet for that. I think that's next year.
Yeah.
And might be lead into what is probably going to come down the pipeline. So I think the gold situation probably, for that to sell off, will be more narrative based due to the wars, would be my guess. And then people will be more risk on and looking for higher risk assets, which is your cryptos, obviously. And maybe that's where we get the rotation, and that's maybe where the alt season starts.
Yeah.
But at this stage, who knows? Because there's not many signs that are pointing to a bull market just yet. We're getting closer by the day, but I don't know what. I don't think the charts are ready yet, personally. So,
what's that? Oh, look at what's happened to Radium? Down 24% today, Radium. I wonder what has happened there. That is look at that. That is a pretty aggressive sell-off, isn't it?
Rugged, Dave. What's your overall view of the
On
crypto?
Ripple
How
or
long? What do you think? How long do you think until we get out this range, Dave?
I think in March. I think we get out in March. I think at the moment, where Bitcoin is at the moment, I would probably lean towards the end of March. I think because it's not giving sort of for where we are. Basically, we're only 4 days from the end of February, aren't we?
Yeah.
For where it's at, it's not sort of pushing. If it was pushing towards the highs, then I could probably build a theory. Okay, maybe we're gonna have expansion into early March. But for where it's at the moment, for what it needs to do, because it's not just going to go. Do you know what I mean? It's not just going to do that. Oh, hang on.
God, it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
That was going back in time, Dave.
It's not going to just do that and just one straight line, just blast through. It's not just going to blast through this local resistance here. Blast through. There's a big chunk of liquidity, I think, at 102. Then obviously the big test of all-time highs. So it's not just going to do that in one move, is it? It's going to need to take one and then maybe cool down and then take the other. And it's going to need to push this with real strength as well. To push through here, it's going to have to be really strong, have some serious momentum behind it. Which takes a lot of money as well.
And that's where the rotation comes in, right?
Yeah. And I don't think it's. I mean, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like it's going to do that in the next 10 days, 2 weeks.
No.
So I would probably be looking towards the end of March, maybe mid to end of March, the next, which gives us a month, doesn't it? Maybe 3 weeks more in here.
Yeah. It's just all boring, really.
Is what I'm potentially thinking. Yeah. I mean, one thing's for sure, we're gonna get some movement away from here soon because this is getting to a point of strong compression in it. We're either going to get a push down from here soon, or we're gonna try and push back to the upside towards this sort of region here, like the 101, 500-ish level. Sort of where here is, kind of around there. But yeah, again, probably be then got to take time. If we go and take up this level, I imagine then we reject and then, come down and then maybe test the upside of this to see if we've got strength to hold an SR test on this stupid little range that we've been having here. And then, then all right, okay, we've held there, right? Okay, now let's go and test up there. Oh, we haven't got the strength to hold there. Oh, fuck's sake, back down. It just seems like it's too long. It's too long to try and break it in the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So
do you want me to show my?
I think
I've actually done some charting this morning. I'll do that.
You fire yours. But yeah, I don't know whether that's just me. Me hoping or what, but I would like to see it break it in March. But again, that might just be pure hoping or whatever. But I think come the end of March, I think we'll probably be at a kind of, in terms of consolidation length.
Yeah.
I'd be at a point where it could maybe launch at least a decent attack on the highs. Whether it just tips over and then gets back under and shits the bed, or I don't know, whatever.
I was doing some of these this morning, and I was just like, "There's just nothing here." I mean, the state of these candles are just indecision, and then you've got so many liquidations. Obviously, we cleared some of these candles where we filled in some of these wicks from last week. I my guess is if we close the daily below this red line, then I would say we'd probably start breaking down. And for me personally, I think for us to break out, we're going to probably need to dip into this kind of area here, that kind of 85 region.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see somewhere like a higher low, then a higher high, then down here, and then break out. That's kind of my working thesis for a while, but it just looks terrible, doesn't it? It's gonna, unless it really takes off and starts pushing up here, it looks like it's going to drop to me.
Yeah, it is fascinating, isn't it? Because this is the first time we've ever seen Bitcoin do something like this in terms of just you go back and look at the chart. It's never really done anything like this where it's just you get 1 to 2 weeks of expansion and then just such long consolidation. It's done that repeatedly about 4 times now.
Yeah,
which
it's an ongoing theme, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe in the early days, obviously when there was very low volume and stuff like that. But you compare it to the last 2 cycles, and it's you've never see this type of pattern on it before.
No,
so it's very interesting.
But the thing is, I was again talking to some of the other guys about it. That we've had the FUD about Tether. We've had now the Bybit thing, so we've had the FUD about exchanges. So if you're playing a game of bullshit bingo, you're kind of ticking off the cycle checkpoints for when you normally all the stuff that you need. So it's, to me, maybe another at least somewhere between, where are we now? 3 weeks minimum, I'd say, before we look to probably break range. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lower high, higher high, but not the close. Trap or bait some longs up here, and then this move being a really fast V-shape recovery.
Pretty much what we got last time. The last all-time high candle, that was horrific, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you have a look there to the left, where it created the all-time high, that was a horrendous-looking candle.
Try and find that one, and then similar kind of drill on ETH. It's just, we've got this kind of. It's going to be people thinking it's a bear flag, so we're going to probably range and then come down, and then we got this level of support, or we come down to this level of support. That's kind of where we're at, ETH-wise. Not a massive fan of trend lines, but this narrative would fit. But doesn't look. I thought the weekly close in this would lead to up, but then today has just looked like terrible again. So it really depends on Bitcoin. But the ones I looked at this morning, so dominance is rising again. So I'm looking potentially up here and then down. So that looks like nothing looks like it's complete yet. So I just don't see how we're going to break range until we complete some of these moves. ETH, Bitcoin, another one that's just thought it was starting to look alright, but perhaps come down and this weekly back test here.
Yeah.
But again, it's not looking that strong. sorry, Sol. Let's put this back on the weekly. It's easier. Clean, sorry. On the weekly. Yeah, Sol Bitcoin is now looking dreadful. We have liquidated these wicks, but now we've closed below here. We're probably going to retest here. So that looks rubbish. Sol ETH does look like ETH is starting to gain on Solana, but Solana looks terrible, so that does make sense. But again, and then the total charts just look to me like we're going to fill in these wicks, which would coincide obviously with everything else we talked about. Nothing looking too bullish at the moment, Dave, in my eyes. I think yesterday I was the ETH Bitcoin chart was looking a bit better. I was thinking, do we get
it was when I was looking at it on stream last night, it didn't look too bad. But obviously today it is down nearly 5%. While Bitcoin is down 0.62, so lost a lot of value against Bitcoin again today, so it's kind of ruined it, hasn't it, for itself.
It's probably going to carry on breaking down into here. Just that I was hoping yesterday might be an impulse out, but nothing is looking. I mean, Sol looks to me. I don't know where Sol was going to bounce from. It doesn't look ready to me. It looks very, very weak.
Yeah, and it's all the.
You haven't got any positivity of any charts in the chat that people go, yes, this is looking bullish.
Sonic's looking good. I completely missed that. I think it's SUSDT.
What's that?
SUSDT. Yeah.
I've just bloody done silly. SUSDT.
No, just SUSDT. The ticker's just S. Yeah, top one there. It's the thingo of FTM. It's the rebrand of FTM.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if you actually like chart FTM, if it just carries the price action over onto it to give a historical thingo. But it's up. Is it up 3x from the lows? It's had some decent strength over the past couple of days anyway. Does it still chart?
So that's fancy.
It does, doesn't it?
But this thing just sometimes just runs wild, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what it's done the last couple of days. I didn't realise it still charted it on Phantom. But yeah, looks like it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, had a decent few days on it. It's gone up. What's it done? Yeah, nearly 2.5x on it, roughly. So I don't know where it goes from here or not. But it's had some decent strength. But apart from that, I think that's the only thing really that I've seen go up. OM as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that thing just doesn't stop.
I was even looking at like XRP and stuff like that. All of them are distributing, aren't they, quite heavily?
Yeah, and that's kind of a decent sign because there was a lot of capital locked up in them, pumping that sort of bag of US coins.
Yeah.
But I mean, does that money even flow back in, or are people just going to take that money and just hold on to it while the market looks shit?
But the thing is with it, if you look at the total charts, it's just, where are we? We're at 3 trillion. Obviously it looks very eerily similar to Bitcoin, as we know, but it looks like this is going to break down to me. I don't really see that it doesn't. definitely going to go.
It looks like it's kind of like delaying the inevitable, doesn't it? Really?
Oh, it just looks like we're going to maybe another liquidation and out like that, but it's
Yeah. It looks kind of like it's just delaying the inevitable and just it's just like just refusing to break down.
Yes, it will at some point, obviously. But
apart from that, I don't think there's anything really that's caught my eye recently. I mean, H-bar's having a good day today in relative to everything else. I mean, structurally, it doesn't really look any different to a couple of days ago. What's that? Cow. Jesus. That's a whiz thing, isn't it, cow?
I don't even know if I want to flick through all coins. It's just
Audi. Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? It's really bad.
I don't know if I can actually.
Tell you what isn't looking too good as well. It's Link. Have you seen Link? Jesus Christ, that is just drifting lower and lower and lower. Link.
Yeah. So
it's just going lower and lower, potentially looking down towards $15 in it for me, maybe. I don't know what have you got charted. But Link is one of them ones. I mean, if we compare it to other ones, let's see, AVAX. Now AVAX is looking a bit similar. What else have we got? So it's one of them ones in it that's sort of moving to fill in that wick. You know, that wild wick that we got?
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that's moving to fill in that wick where a lot of them haven't really begun that proper journey yet to fill in that wick.
Yeah. It looks like we're going to feel all the way down. And then probably if you look at demand that kind of sits there, then you fill in that wick. Where are we? Yeah, you fill in this wick and just distribute with blur. Yeah. And then do you then come into here and then like fast move, like fast liquidation in and out? I would imagine something like that.
Just a sec, mate. Someone's at the front door.
Go on, mate. You go.
Chat. Keep Justin entertained. I'll be back in a second. There won't be a minute.
Go on, Dave. What's everyone else? Well, let's have a quick look in the chat and see, is there any coins people want charted? When's Solana season? Hopefully soon, Wiz, because I'm getting bored. But until Sol does something, then it won't be for a while. OM looking good. So look at that. Let's have a quick look at OM. Yeah, not really sure how you chart that from there. Somewhere in there will come down to and fill in. It's just lots of gaps on OM. If it doesn't hold there, then we're going to probably come down to this level. Yeah. That's about one of the only strong ones there is, I think. What other coins have we got? China ban. Blah, blah, blah. What other coins? What's the like Sui and things like that doing? Ugh. Sui doesn't hold $3, then I would be bidding somewhere at about $2.50 personally. It's horrible. What other ones ran hard? XRP was another one I was looking at. Soaring. Probably comes down quite far if it doesn't hold $2.10. Comes down to $1.50, 55. The meme coins look awful. Slice of that. So I'll be looking to buy WIF if WIF comes down into the 40 cent range, 30 cent range. Goodbye. Dodge. Those absolutely rubbish. Genuinely don't know what's positive at the moment. Definitely not Bitcoin or ETH. Is the way, is it like Bitcoin MT5. Where's M2? It's not much, it's very positive. Is anyone in shorts? CRV. CRV. So I've done very well on CRV, and then it's obviously crashed and burned. So CRV probably needs to hold that kind of level. Then yeah, so I'd say CRV, if you're in that or want to get into that, 40 cents is probably a decent-ish number. Between 40 and 45 cents. If we lose support there, then probably come down to 25 cents. I'm actually in it, but I bought at 22 cents, so I'm in from down here. But it's...
Right, I'm back, mate.
Dave, you're back. So just looking at someone had CRV in the chat, IP, story.
It was actually someone picking something up I've sold on eBay, so I had to go. I didn't.
What are you selling, Dave?
It was them. It was someone at the front door. I sold something on eBay, and it was them. I didn't realise it was them, so I had to go and get the item for them, which was a bit of messing around. But yeah, that's
yeah. So I was just looking at some people put some stuff in the chat. So we're looking at CRV. I'm saying that kind of probably need to hold this kind of level. Otherwise, we're going to come down here. That doesn't look too bad. IP. Oh God.
Let's see what.
Do you know anything about this, Dave? IP.
I know nothing about this. No, I have no idea what it is. But I did see someone told me to look at it last week, and it had gone up quite significantly.
It's Wiz. Bit of Wiz magic.
IP. I wonder what's happened to that pie. What's happened to pie? Is that shut the bed yet? That thing looks like a complete scam.
Personally, something like IP, story, whatever you want to call it, if that looks, if I'm right, if that launched like literally a few days ago, then no interest for me, because unless you know the tokenomics when it was launched, what the pre-sale prices were and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just not worth my while personally. But if I was looking at it, I'd be looking somewhere in that zone, right? Probably to buy.
What is it? What's pie looking like?
Pie.
PI.
Yeah. Pie network. Okay. Huh.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's had a reversal, hasn't it? That's better than I thought. I thought it was going to be down in the gutter.
Yeah.
Seems to have had a reversal. So interesting. As there was a few obviously people in the chat saying they had quite a few coins of these. Has everyone who got coins from them sold yours now? If anyone's in the chat who had some anyway. Not a bad resurgence if you was holding on to your coins. Regiman says he's 3,000 and sold 50.
You got your bell ready, Dave? Got 8 minutes.
Oh yeah, I do. Let's see what's everyone thinking. So I'll put a thing in. 58% of people think down. So we'll see what direction we go in anyway. But yeah, a lot of people think that we're going down. Down.
I would say.
I think futures has been up. Futures on the S&P has been all right today, though, hasn't it? I think. Or has it not?
So.
Not anything major. Then.
Let's have a look. So, where are we? 24th. So, 17th. Where was the? So that was last week's weekly open. So, well, we're probably going to retest the Monday low, I would guess.
Yeah.
Today. And then where's next? So Monday low. And then if that doesn't hold, then we're probably going to be down to looking at last week's low, which was 93,300ish. If it doesn't hold,
Yeah.
but I would
Well, the
say,
CME gap's already closed. That closed last
yeah,
night.
CME gap's done, right? So we're
Yeah.
highly likely to probably take out the Asia session low today.
Do we have any open CME gaps in this range, or do we not? Or are they all closed? I think they're all closed, aren't they?
I've not looked at any of that for a while.
The only open CME gap, from what I can see, is the one down between 80k and 78k. That is the only open CME gap, which would be nice if it was left as base for much later in the cycle.
Yeah, to me, we look like
fucking hell.
We're coming down, and we'll liquidate a session low. What we got 5 minutes, so that's last week's open, and we opened this week.
Everything is just getting smashed again, innit?
Yeah.
Everything is getting. You look across everything, and everything is getting smashed. Apart from OM, of course. That thing is just. It's the impulse moves on it, innit? It's the.
What's that?
On OM, it's like the consolidation, and then someone just comes in with just a huge market buy and just absolutely rips everyone to shreds who's trying to short it. That is probably the hardest coin to short I think I might have ever seen.
I probably would not touch it with a bars pole.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't touch it.
I think it's wholly unwise. But yeah, Bitcoin probably down, and Asia session low would be the first port of call. And then if that doesn't hold, then we're looking at the previous week low, which is the 93.
Oh, just rug it already.
Yeah, that's kind
just
of
rug it
where I'm with it. It's just get it over. Previous week low. Take the opportunity quickly, Dave, to mark up my chart. Previously week high. There you go. Do you put all these on your charts, Dave? The weekly, the previous weeks and opens and closes and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do have. So there is actually an indicator for that. It's called Spaceman, where it will map out everything automatically for you, and you can just kind of choose what you want it, to map out.
Oh, gold's crap in the bed, which is quite funny. Right, so we're looking at gold shorts.
Yeah, I use Spaceman.
I was on stream with you, Dave. I had this set up ready to short gold. That would have been a nice trade.
That would have, yeah. I was just looking at gold then, because it tipped over, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, I spend most of my. I started a challenge last week to trade gold. I trade it anyway, but to do a trading challenge on it.
Yeah.
And so I purely scalping it. No. Purely scalp. I think the longest I've been in the trade is 35 minutes, and so I chucked $500 into an account, and with the view of trying to 100x it in however long time frame, and I think I'll probably be able to do it in 8 weeks. Is I reckon is probably the time frame. So I've got one more trade. One more successful trade today. If I take I would have doubled the account in 5 days. Which is very nice.
You can't complain with that, can you?
No. And it's quite good. The thing is with gold, you've only got to worry about red envelope items on Forex Factory.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about exchanges getting hacked or someone's done something in crypto and it just sends it all bonkers. You got your bell ready, Dave?
I have. We're ready. We're open, aren't we?
Ready. There we go. We're open. So let's have a look at. So we want.
There we go. Yes, it's very interesting. Is anyone, let us know in the chat, is anyone else doing a trading account challenge at the moment? It would be great to know what everyone is doing. Has anyone else got their eyes set on a challenge?
Right, so SPX is open. There's no gap, which is interesting from Friday, which is good. Bitcoin is currently going up, but I suspect that won't be long. Gold has bounced at the weekly open. But we've got no news until Thursday, I think it is. So consumer confidence tomorrow, and then nothing until unemployment and GDP on Thursday. So there's not many conduits this week. That's going to send the price.
I think it was the same last week as well, wasn't there? There wasn't really much going on last week.
No. It's all very slow. So, yeah, not much happened there, Dave. Look at that. I'll tell you what has been ripping. I don't know if you look at indices, but I've been trading the DAX quite a bit.
Oh, right, okay. Is that German? The German one?
That's a pretty been on a bit of a tear as well. We look at this on a weekly. I mean, it's just it's been a bit of a tear up. So especially the last few weeks, it's just been ripping big time.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see that, isn't it? Because obviously they've just had the election, haven't they? Was it over the week? When did they have the election? Was it over the weekend, or I seen that they were counting the results
last night? Yeah, it finished last night. So the results are in. It's the Conservative and I think the far right got pretty big support. But the conservative side are in the power, and then they reckon. I think they've got constitutionally they've got 8 weeks to form a government. So they reckon by Easter.
And what's the odds on for the coalition? What other party?
I've got no idea, to be honest with you. It's just another one. I think my personal view of the world right now, not to get too deep into stuff, Dave, I'll stop sharing my screen a second. My personal view of the world, I think that Trump and Putin are going to do a deal. I think that will cease the war with Ukraine. Ukraine are going to have to pony up some minerals and land, I would guess. Zelensky gets flicked and replaced. I think that could be the catalyst for gold starting to distribute and take profits. We might see that will probably run it to the highs. and then I think at some point the Chinese will come on board, and then between the Chinese, Russia, and the US, along with the Saudis, they will go, and that will be the new world order of what drives stuff. And Europe, unless they really pull their finger out, are going to be left on the sidelines.
Oh no, Europe's done for. Completely done for.
Yeah. When you look at our lovely leader here,
absolutely. Yeah, he's an absolute joke, isn't he?
He's going to get torn a new one, basically.
It's we need another general election in the UK. Is what we need.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
On your hands in general at the moment, Dave, or are you trading anything at all?
No, I'm just in spot positions that are not.
You're probably not looking at a bad time.
Yeah, apart from that, I'm not really doing much, to be honest. I just want it to be over with. I just want to sell. And yeah, each day is more painful.
How does this compare to last time around for you, Dave?
Yeah. This is horrendous.
And is that because of the projects that you've invested in, or is it just the market's weird?
No, it's the project. It's the way I've gone about investing. I should have gone all in on Bitcoin. Last cycle, I was pretty much basically all in on ETH, and ETH performed incredible last cycle. So I kind of had one of the, it wasn't one of the low cap winners, but it was, the high cap winner. It did incredible against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This cycle, I should have just bought Bitcoin, and I didn't. So yeah, it's not been very enjoyable up to now. I'll be honest. Not as enjoyable as it should have been. If I would have been better at rotating, I would have done a lot better up to this point.
But how many people have done that? Really?
But I got my rotation game. Yeah, well, that's it. But if I would have got my rotation game better, I probably would have been done now, and I could have just been like, okay, I don't really care what happens. My cycle's done.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have really even been asked about missing the next leg higher if one comes. Yeah. Not done amazingly well, but you live and learn, don't you? It's safe to say I will never be buying another altcoin ever again. And if I manage to get out with it, if I manage to get out, and if I manage to get out with kind of anywhere near what I'm targeting, every single cent that I'm willing to put back into the market eventually will all go into Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how many people.
That's currently.
If you looked at investing and also perps, I wonder how people would have done that, relatively speaking, investing and trading only Bitcoin rather than going into alts. How they would have done.
Oh yeah. Even if I would have done that, that would have been well better. If I would have just had 100% perps account and just traded Bitcoin, that would have been well better on its own as well.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, I do wonder.
But to be fair, sometimes I imagine there's probably a lot of people in the chat that probably feel the same. Altcoins haven't really, minus, like Sui, Sol, and a handful of others. It's not been exceptional, has it, at all? So a lot of people are probably feeling the same, but I don't think there's anything that you could have looked at the depths of at the bottom of last cycle, when obviously, Bitcoin was at like 15, 16K. I don't think there was anything that could have really foreseen this type of market coming, where someone would have just said, oh, there's a thing, pump fund's going to come along and it's going to drain all the liquidity and people are going to become obsessed with memes. And I don't think really there would have been anything like that to foreshadow coming along, which is obviously why, again, a lot of people diversify into altcoins and not just strictly Bitcoin. But yeah, it's proven to be definitely the double-edged sword, trying to go for larger gains in altcoins as opposed to just being in a safe asset. The only safe asset in crypto.
So what's the answer going forward? Do you think the likes of Pump Fund will get taken down, or not regulated, but yeah, just taken away from the market in whichever way, or does that take away the essence of how crypto works?
I don't know, because like, if someone does that, do they then just launch? Does someone else just launch the exact same product? I mean, there is already other ones out there, isn't there? I mean, the thing with Pump Fund is they'll know exactly who it is. I don't personally. I mean, maybe it's just common knowledge anyway. Personally, off the top of my head, I don't know who it actually is that's behind it. But because they deposit funds into Kraken, I imagine they know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in terms of them, yeah, they could. But then, what's to stop just a decentralized group of people just starting up another one?
Yeah.
And just never depositing into a SEX using a mix, or maybe they know a way to just OTC funds away, and just starting up another one. So I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know the answer, but I think again, each time we'll see a different thing, won't we? Like, I think for next cycle, I think VCs will be a lot more hesitant to put money into altcoins, because let's be honest, VC coins haven't done very well this cycle either. A lot of them have done pretty horrendously up to this point anyway. Up to this point, things can change, turn around. But, again, the answer is not VC funded coins either. So what is the answer? I don't know. For me, it's just Bitcoin. So yeah, shame, but yeah, we'll see what happens anyway.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, that's as long as you. Yes.
Here we go, Dave.
Yes,
Bitcoin's about to sweep the Asian session alone.
But yeah, what are your? I think you came in on Friday, didn't you? And I think when I was on with Wiz, and I think did you say you are just fully focused on Bitcoin next time as well?
I personally would do a deep dive. I will be doing a deep dive into my performance of like investing during this kind of cycle, and what's the right things to do. For the most part, I think I'll go Bitcoin, because it's going to lead the charge anyway, right? Because that's just the nature of the beast. It has to run first for other things to run. But with the institutional money now in it, does that change the way the cycles work? Possibly.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tricky one to call, Dave. I don't really know. And at this moment in time, my interest in crypto is very, very, very limited until we form some kind of, or we hit my triggers. And at the moment, we haven't hit my triggers, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I'll care only when they get hit. Here we go. Asia session low, about to go. We are.
Yeah, it's edging towards it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. And yeah, I think and I think we will be very lucky if we get another chance to buy it so cheap again as we did last cycle. If we do get another chance to buy Bitcoin anywhere close to the last cycle lows, it can definitely be considered a gift as far as I'm concerned anyway.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I can't remember what my low point was, where I will sell the kids and everything. Was, let me find my chart for it. Don't think if it goes down this low, then I'll definitely buy everything, and that's 17,250 to 19,000. If we don't go that low,
Imagine.
if we don't go that low, then I would say there's another nice little pocket around about 25,000. Is a nice little pocket to also buy.
Yeah.
But basically, I will buy probably start buying on the way down from probably 50 grand down. Would be my view. 50,000 and down would be pleasant. And a good buy from there.
Yeah.
Fail to see how you don't make money in the long run that way.
Yeah, I mean, my two, I mean, you look at the chart, a key level for me is around like 30, 31, 32. I think this is kind of like a key spot to be tested again.
Yeah. So my next level after, or is a price void between 30,582 up to around about 36,000. That's quite a prime zone as well.
Interesting. It'd be very interesting to see anyway.
Yeah, it will. But we've got to get through this cycle first. And
that is it. Let's see. Anyway, what did we have? So we finished on 53% of people thinking that we was going down. So congratulations to everyone who voted down. You was right today.
I sit down.
With just over half the vote. You did as well, mate. Yeah, you did, didn't you? So yeah, congratulations to everyone there.
So if we carry on going from here, the next level is probably 94,829. But that's a bit of a weak area. The market cut the scalp.
We've got TMG in, Cabin Run.
It's all miserable.
What are the alts doing? Really bad. TMG is in Atlanta. He's going to BitBoy's old today. Interesting. Okay. Is that his network?
Didn't he go missing the other week, BitBoy? BitBoy went missing the other week, didn't he? Am I talking nonsense?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I think he's been pretty active on X over the past few days or week. I think he was meant to be doing a podcast, actually, wasn't he? I don't know if he's filmed it or not, or if that's been released. I'm completely out of the loop. But I've seen him post on Twitter. If we get this up before we check the market. I think he said he was filming. I'm guessing he's going to spill the beans on, obviously, everything that's been going on. What did he say? I'm sure he said that he put a thing up. So many tweets. What a guy.
But answering Jordan's question, what's happening to alts, I would recommend just don't look. The best thing to do, don't look, because it is savage.
Yeah.
Don't look at the spot.
So yeah, I mean, ETH to start off with, down 5.5%. Let's put this on the 1 hour. Down 5.5%. Not looking good. I mean, it is coming into testing the most recent sort of diagonal that we've had, but again, it's tested it that many times. We probably maybe smash through that on the next try. I don't know. XRP down 5%. Yeah, not. Let me turn Stonksy off for this so we can see. Nothing much really on XRP. It's just come down into levels in it.
I'll tell you what.
2 weeks ago, Solana's the main one in it. Go on.
Have a look at Velo. Has been absolutely creamed as well.
Let's see Velo. Oh yeah. Still got some work to do to the downside, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I
would guess.
I have this drawn on here. This zone, I don't know where that goes to the left, but I've got this on here, which at the moment would be another 40% drop on it. So I hope Zane's not in the chat.
Yeah, I think there's that wick from the week of the 4th of November. It's probably where we fill in.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah. We got
on the weekly, there was a weekly close around about the 13th and then the 20th of March. The kind of highs there on the weekly. Probably from there to the 1st of April high week is probably the area, the box. So it's around about 0.0091 to 0.010.
Solana is falling off a cliff. BNB is holding up better than some.
BNB's probably the biggest scam and most manipulated coin in all of crypto.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say.
I would agree. We've got Doge potentially coming down to fill this wick in. It's really breaking down now, Doge.
Yes, 20 cents.
We've got Ada dropping big again. What have you got? 20 cents?
20 cents for Doge. Yeah, it's a good buy.
Yeah, pretty much where the wick hit it, didn't it? Nearly, just above, but nearly on the edge of the wick of the 3rd or 4th, whatever the day that was. Link we discussed before, didn't we? That was moving to fill in its wick. That is fast approaching now. We got AVAX, which was actually doing all right last week, and then completely reversed the move. We got Sui down significantly today, nearly 10%. That is coming back in towards testing recent support, so that's making its way back down there. If we do fall down from there,
Sui needs to come down.
Drop down to here.
$2.35 is where I would start buying Sui.
Yeah, but kind of where I've got that drawn in it. I've got that drawn at 237, so around about the same point. We got XLM, obviously another one of them American coins, moving the same as others. Got Litecoin, that was doing again another failed breakout by Litecoin. Another failed breakout by Litecoin. We got Ton. What is Ton doing actually? What has Ton done recently? Not much. What did it? Let's see.
I
haven't. This is the Binance chart, so I haven't got the data.
Bitcoin might bounce in a minute.
We've got Hype. Hype is coming back in towards. Yeah, Hype's getting smashed, and it's coming back in towards, that kind of zone where it's repeatedly bounced from. We've got Dot. Let's see what Dot's doing. What is Dot doing on this fine day? Dot is coming back down. Yeah, pretty much everything is just, if anything pumped last week, it's pretty much fully reversed it and gone lower. or to the prices of early last week. Again, Uniswap is another one that's moving, filling that wick. What was you saying, mate?
Might be worth looking at Bitcoin bouncing at $94,734. Let's see.
Well, if we're looking for strength, I suppose we should look no further than Tau. Tau is going the
I was just
way.
looking at that.
Tau is going the complete opposite way to Bitcoin and the rest of the market. What have we got on Dupe? Dupe again. It's within this high time frame support zone, in it. Dupe, going back pretty much a year now. Each time it's come into this zone, it's bounced. Does it go lower? We'll have to wait and see. Don't know. But yeah, it's held obviously very well over the past year inside where we are at the moment.
I'm going.
And then that's it. Yeah, I mean, standout one. Are you long in it?
I'm a long Bitcoin. In a second.
Justin is long in Bitcoin. Say's another one, actually. Say doesn't quite well,
look at that chart up now.
Yeah, Say's looking all right compared to the rest. Again, it's not really retraced its pump from last week. And then obviously Sonic S. I don't know what's going to happen with that. No idea. So yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment. Let's see what's happening with Bitcoin. I need to pull that to the upside. Let's go zoomed into the 1 hour. Okay. There we go. So we've swept that level that you was looking at, haven't we now?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what have we got. Dave, are you streaming off the Big Mac or your MacBook? I am streaming off the MacBook still because I can't get into the Big Mac because it is password locked. And Dean isn't too sure what the password is. However, there is still hope. There's a few other profiles on there. I think you've got one on there, Jordan, or it might be the other Jordan. I don't know. Evan's got a profile on there, and Jess. There's 4 profiles on there, but Dean doesn't know the password to his profile on there, so I can't get in it. So I don't really know how I'm going to get into it, unless anyone knows how to completely reset a Mac without going into recovery mode. But at the moment, I cannot set anything up for me on it because I don't know how to get in it. Because, it's password locked, and so far I haven't been able to recover the password for it. So we'll see. I might have to take it somewhere and get them to unlock it. I don't know. Unless anyone in the chat knows any tips and tricks to get into a Mac without having the password to get into the profile, do let me know in the chat. Use a brick. Brilliant.
There you go.
I don't think BNB is a scam. It's just Binance that continuously puts 20 to 50% of profits into it and then keeps the price rising. Says TMG.
Calling it a scam is probably the wrong thing. I say probably the most manipulated coin in crypto. They manipulate the price very well. You look at the actual market structure of how it is, it's very, very, very manipulated.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the pros of being the main buyer of it, isn't it? I mean, they are the main buyer of the coin.
Well, the thing is, all the OGs are in it, right? All the OGs control the price. The market makers won't allow it to fail, basically. Yeah,
it's when you've got that much money and you've got your own thing, you can pretty much do what you want with it, can't you?
Yes.
It's the long and short of it. It's crazy. Link hasn't hit an all-time high when they are used by nearly every project and its partnerships outside of crypto. That is just a prime example that the space doesn't care about any of that. It's pretty much the long and short of it, innit? The space does not care about if a project is widely used or if it's got good partnerships or what. That is a prime example. If you could clip anything and say how does something sum up this cycle, it would be that, wouldn't it? Because it doesn't care about it because it's not a picture of a dog or a cat or a frog. So yeah, but yeah, completely correct. If the cycle was all about and crypto was all about what is a legitimate project, and if it worked similar to how the stock market does, stocks that perform well, obviously number go up. Companies that perform badly, number go down.
I was looking at that this morning and saying, like, you can't look at the fundamentals, like some of the VC money that goes into crypto. It doesn't work like normal assets. It really doesn't. And people just, it's just, the returns are just, it's just different. It's different animal.
Yeah, nasty sell off on the S&P as well, on open. Yeah.
Nothing positive at all, is there, Dave? We are, whenever we're on stream,
not at the moment.
It's everything just turns into a bag of shite, basically.
It's in such a strange position in the market, isn't it? It's in such a strange position. Waylander thinks Bitcoin should bounce now. Go on, mate. What was you saying? Sorry.
I was saying, so the SPX, there is a gap between 5,843 and 5,904. So we might be going for that. Bitcoin don't bounce now, then we're going to go down a few $100. This normally happens on a Sunday
Very
night.
interesting.
Look at it go. Yeah, so SPX is going to fill that void, basically. That's where that's going. Gold's going down.
Where's the void, did you say?
On the SPX, it is 5,842 up to 5,905, and that was created from Tuesday, the 14th of January, which was obviously Trump Day.
Oh, we are so fucked, aren't we?
Yeah, so it's pretty close.
We are so fucked.
It's all just becoming a bit monotonous and familiar, isn't it? Every single word, like everything just sells off all the time.
Yeah. Bring it up and change the meeting to afternoon because I'm on US time. Okay, I will tell Dean about that. Jordan, I'll tell Dean about that after streaming. Yeah, let's check the. Actually, yeah, we haven't so far today. Let's have a look at the heat map. So we are taking 24-hour liquidity at the moment. Obviously, we took this cluster here. Let's have a look at 3-day. Taking 3-day liquidity cluster now as well. I think there's a little bit more to go to the downside, maybe another $100, $200, $300, something like that. But then we'll have took this yellow cluster here on a 3-day. Let's have a look on a 2-week. While it loads anyway. Not a whole lot, to be fair. We are obviously got decent build up from 93,000 downwards. But there's no immediate liquidity cluster here to the upside, obviously above where we sold off on Friday. But yeah, no immediate liquidity cluster. There is obviously liquidity build up here, as we can see, but no decently sized cluster, but we do go into deeper liquidity, 93,000 downwards. And then let's have a look on the 1 month. 1 month, biggest liquidity is just above 100, around about 100k and above, just above. So yeah, that's where we're at anyway. Oh yeah, we are. Well, yeah, we're being put to the sword here, aren't we?
Just to make a change.
Yeah, the market is in real trouble here. I mean, from this point, we may as well just go and sweep this low, mightn't we? From this point onwards. We may as well just go and sweep this low. Don't know. Check coin and heat maps, 2 different chart. Coinank, never heard of it. I will take a look though. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I've never checked Coinank. Have you, mate?
What's that? Coin what?
Coinank.
Never heard of
it. 41A. You're always providing some good information in the chat, to be fair, aren't you? It says over leverage longer should be put before we go to 100k.
I find these heat maps and stuff just, there's so much. I was looking at them the other day, and there was a whole bunch of liquidity, and then 2 hours later, the price gets to that point, and then it just disappears from the heat maps. Literally just disappears.
Yeah.
When it gets there, it's a bit comical, but not unexpected.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, but yeah, we are getting a push down on, as we can see, a big sea of red. So if you don't want to see your alts down today, my suggestion is just don't look at them. Is what we are dealing with today. If you don't want to see your portfolio down and you don't want to see your alts down, just don't look at them and simply do something else, or just don't look at them.
Go and do something else for the day is the answer.
Yeah.
Everything's getting absolutely body pumped right now.
Pummeled. It's getting pummeled, isn't it? Yeah, the S&P 500 is tanking.
Yeah. There you go. Well, don't know what else to say, Dave. Got nothing else intelligent to say about it.
No, that was a great show. I really enjoyed today's stream.
I always enjoy spending time with you, Dave.
Yes, big thank you. And you know what? Big thank you to Justin as well, from myself and obviously the chat for coming on every Monday and providing such, great value and insight. I imagine everyone that watches thoroughly enjoys it.
And if you don't, then tough. I'll be here anyway.
Yeah, Reggie, man, if you're struggling, mate, you can give me a message if you want. I'm sorry to see you say that. If you are struggling, you're more than welcome to DM me on Discord, and I will more than happy to listen. But yeah, it's maybe go take a walk, mate. Go take a walk, turn your phone off, or at least turn notifications off for crypto for a bit. And yeah, just go take a walk, go do something.
there are many asset classes to trade. It does not need to just be crypto. That would be my advice. Have a look at some other assets, and also remember day trading really hard. And if you're scalping, it's even harder. So don't scalp, don't day trade altcoins. Stick to Bitcoin or higher liquidity assets.
Yeah. But yeah, just take a break, mate. Just take a break. Even if it's, you know, for today. It's not worth, and that goes for everyone. You know, if you're feeling a bit heated or upset, which, you know, I imagine probably most people are with how altcoins performed, it's pretty, you know, normal. Then, yeah, just take a walk, turn your phone off or turn notifications off for crypto for a little bit, and yeah, put yourself and, you know, your mental health first. Take a walk, just avoid high. Yeah. But yeah, we are getting a little push back to the upside on Bitcoin. But yeah, big thank you. Big thank you, Justin.
Pleasure, mate, as always.
I greatly appreciate it.
No, I appreciate
yeah, well,
it.
I've just done it again next Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, look forward to that. And in the meantime, I'll catch you all in the Stonksy Discord if you're in there. If you're not, the link is in the description. Second link, you get full indicator access, you get Discord access, and obviously we now have the trading bot released. So that went live over the weekend. So if you do want to get on the Stonksy trading bot, yeah, that link is in the description. And obviously, if you're looking to take any trades today, we've got BLOFIN, some really nice welcome bonuses for you. I'll put the BLOFIN link in the chat as well now. Do go and sign up. It's non-KYC.
Lovely.
I think I've just put the wrong. Oh no, there. Right. Well,
Dave, it's been a pleasure as always. Have a lovely week.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, we'll do, mate.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.